Do 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 do. No, all of a sudden I really wanted to kind of listen to some reggae. You know, you just get those like a taste for stuff. But anyways, welcome back. Today is the update. We're on a little tour now, little kind of see how the progress is and what we're doing in the garden or in the little permaculture patch and see how things are going on. And yes, let's have a look, let's get outside. So they said it wasn't raining, but then it's been like spitting since the morning, so I'm braving it. It is dry. Nice and dry. Anyway, let's go outside. Have a look. It's windy. It's from the southwest again, the wind. Hey chickens. They always make a little call. So nothing's changed around here. I did have these freebies for the chickens when I got them, but the man had them in the box. But this, I have a secret pan for this. You'll find out. I'm going to spread the word. It's amazing because this stuff is biodegradable if you use it in the right way. But watch this space. Still got that bread to sort out up there. Let me show you. I've got another batch. This is another tray actually. I've got about 4 trays of bread. So I've got a plan for this because you can give it to chickens, but you don't want to give it too much because I mean they might make them. It's not the best stuff at the end of the world, but I might give them a treat today. I might give them a bit of bread. Most probably the seeded last stuff because it's got seeds in it. Better for them, eh? Still haven't dealt with this, but like I said, I'm only sticking to these animals here. So in the future, then I can start planning on that. Little bench, the outside bench I mentioned before. There's that crab shell. I don't want to do with that. And these, look at these lovely pallets. I know they've got an annoying little cling film plastic on there, but what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use them for something. I'm going to use the same design that I've used for the chicken coop. I'm going to do exactly the same for this, so it's going to be a bigger chicken coop, be able to hold more birds, because I find the lower the chicken coop or lower the kind of your animal bed here, it's a lot better because of the wind and stuff. You know, I've heard people tell me that when their chicken coops and stuff have just like blown all over the place. And some people use, like, if you look up there, there's like an old dry rock, like kind of dry stone wall, like a croft house. People use them for them. So at the same time, we want to use ours for ourselves. So it makes sense to kind of have something that's sturdy. Because what happens is it's like a pyramid shape. The wind just hits and goes over the top instead of just slapping the side of it and blowing up. And just make sure it's kind of heavy enough on the side so the wind doesn't come underneath and blow it off. Anyways, check out my windbreak. Check out my windbreak. And this is still on. I've got to make sure I turn this off before I go over the electric fence because I do not want fried bulls. Or do I? So, but anyways, I've placed the windbreak down here. Down that way is, if you're not sure, if you're new here, over that way is north, and over that way is east, and over down here is south, and you get the picture. And most of the wind comes from, prevailing winds come from the south. It's hitting me right now coming this way. You can kind of see. I'm happy with the electric netting because there's more of it here. It's more surface there. I mean, it's more kind of dragging the wind. You see over there, it doesn't move hardly anything, the electric fence. But here, it's just wobbling around all over the place. So what I might do is get a piece of rebar just so it's a bit more sturdy because it's kind of worrying because there's some strong storms coming up soon and I don't want this to be flailing around the place and then the chicken's running all over. Look at this chicken. There's one chicken. I bet it's the same chicken. I'd like to put leg tags on them because if you saw in the last video, the leg tags are a bit too small. But look at these guys. What are you guys up to? What are you doing up there? Don't get any ideas? Yeah? You'll be flapping all over the place. And they've eaten all the food up already. We're eating water now. Eating water, drinking water. But let's go over to the windbreak. Let's get a closer look. So yes. So I've doubled it up and I faced the side with the most wood on facing the wind. So it's a bit windy now, I'm sure you can hear it. But yeah, so it kind of slows the wind down. So if I bend down now, it's not so bad. You hear that? It's not so windy. So that's basically what these guys are feeling because normally when it's windy, their feathers are going bonkers. You can see they're doing a little bit, which kind of coming from this angle as well. So that's why I'm not going to put any more pallets over there. That's a bit overkill. Oh look, little mushroom shells. Might give that to them to see what they're up to. And I've just done it because what I'm going to do down here, I was going to put some garlic in this section, but what I'm going to do now is that because my landlord, she's got a massive pile of cow poo and it's full of stinging nettles. So what I'm going to do is just pile loads of piles of that soil with the cow manure in here with the stinging nettles, so I have like a nice long line of stinging nettles, windbreak at the same time, mixing some wildflowers so the bees can come in and do what they do. There's big enough slats in there for the bees to go in and out, and all the kind of nice invertebrates that kind of we want to encourage in the garden. And then this section here, because this faces south and the sun is right there right now at this moment in time, so you guys following me? I got no food for you. So I've scattered the food around as well, changed the subject, but started to scatter the food around so they can get used to kind of scavenging and going about, because I've yet to let them loose on here. And these are their nest boxes. They're not ready yet. I sense they're not ready. Their little comb, or whatever it's called, on their head's getting darker, but a little rule of thumb, if you touch a chicken on its back and it starts to bend down, means she's ready to lay. But she's playing hard to get, this one. But so that's the plan. So for the plan for this one, just go back to what I was talking about. The plan for here is that I'm going to sheet mulch this, get some cardboard on each of these sections here. I just put this as a little kind of experiment to see what would happen. Like, I'm trying to suppress the grass or slow it down kind of thing. But it doesn't seem like, I mean, I had a piece of wood on here for like how long? A good while, but it just didn't, it rotted down, you can see, but maybe it just needed a bit longer. Maybe in where I was in Crawley, it kind of, that makes sense. Basically, I used to have hot bags of rotting vegetables in bags on top of the grass, and then it kind of, that makes sense. If there's more heat, it's going to speed up, and right here is cold, so that's why it didn't take so long. I've learned a lesson here. See, my brain's a bit slow today. So these sections here, I'm going to have garlic. And plant some garlic all the way along the front here, because I love garlic. We grew garlic. If you want to see garlic, click the top right of the screen. Me and CWD, we planted garlic come November 2019. And we did well. We got a good crop. We haven't bought garlic all year. Just been using it like just, yeah, garlic's great. It's one of the easiest crops to grow. So garlic down here and so on, and then on this side, I don't know. Like I wouldn't mind dedicating all these little patches to garlic, but we just have to wait and see what's going to. Oh, look, the sheep. They love to spray paint. Let me show you the sheep now. The sheep. Look, this sheep's got earrings and everything. Oh, it's not, don't like me, but they love to spray paint their sheep up here. It's quite funny, because obviously you don't want to lose your sheep. But since the electric netting, I've been so much more relaxed with the electric netting. It's done wonders. You can see like the chickens, they're roaming around, they're pecking, they're doing what they should be doing. I see them running. It's just quite really sweet to see. And hopefully in time they should turn this patch. Let's go have a closer look. Actually, they turn this patch to make it look like this. So it looks pretty much disgusting, but that's what we want. It's full of poo, full of NPK. If you're not sure what that is, it's nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. That's all what plants like and need, and it's just fertile. And then what I'm going to do is put some straw in and so on. So you might feel a bit bad for the ducks right now because I haven't let them out. The reason being is because I need to clip their wings, because these guys are starting to start flapping and doing all sorts, and now they'll fly off. I'm sure they'll come back home, but I don't want to risk it because these guys are kind of wild as. So what I'm going to do is clip their wings, most probably next week or this week, clip their wings, and then I'll start taking this down, because they know the chickens here. They've pretty much met the chickens through the fence. They know they're here, so, and they're very good scavengers. That they've eaten all of their scraps that I've chucked around, even in the stuff in the water, whereas these guys don't get it yet. There's one chicken, I think it's this one. She's like, she's at it. She's at the compost heap, whereas the rest, where's the other ones? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there we are. And this one gets bullied. It's a lot smaller than the rest. You can see it. I can notice that she's always getting kind of bullied around and stuff. But this is the lone. This is my chicken right here. This is the one that kind of is at the compost heap. It goes up. I mean, I put food down, but then this one will always kind of be like meh, and then go off and just do its own thing. You right, mate? You're doing good. Do you want to go home? Do you want me to move out the way? Okay, I'll move out the way. Go on. But so clip their wings, and then I'll take this down. But what I'm going to do as well is build another pallet kind of fence line around the side here too. And what I'm going to do is make some little holes in between so they can be able to get out and make easy access, because sometimes they get a bit panicky and want to run in through the slats and they can't fit. So they always have to come around here. So I just make little access points for them. And I know an ideal thing for me to do is kind of move around the chicken coop and stuff, but it's a small enough space for me to manage. Like, I know I've not got like a big space here that I can move, like a chicken tractor or a chickshaw, as some people call it. You know, there's Justin Rhodes, and there's tapping off farm, they kind of do that type of thing. But I find it's a lot easier for me to kind of keep them stationary and move their kind of food out, or the poo, sorry, their manure and poo and stuff and so on, and then introduce them to this compost heap soon. And another thing I noticed is that the flies keep dive bombing this water here, and well, I'm sure chickens like to eat flies, don't they? So I might kind of just pour this out for them, and they can have a little peck and little peck and little nibble. And lastly, hello birds, and they keep following me thinking I've got food. I think they are hungry though. What do you want? Hey? Suit yourself. So on this section where the wooden pole is, I'm going to put like an EPA pallet. And if you're not sure what they are, EPAs are these pallets down here. They weigh a ton. They're heavy as, and I'm going to use this the clear one, and I'm going to place it on the side of this fence here, just to kind of, because this is extra support. Like it can stand up by itself, but I felt comfortable with this being here. So with that pallet being in the way, and with that pallet, calm down. With this pallet going across here, I'm going to make this into like a little kind of, stop with your fighting. So on this section here, I'm going to have the pallet coming down, and then put some sand underneath, because we know chickens like to eat nibble on grit and stuff, and it will kind of like a double whammy, so they can eat it and they can bathe in it too, so they can have a little kind of like dust bath, have some nice dry sand, make it like a little kind of house here, kind of not a house, but like a little dust bath kind of little section. And what else was I going to say? And the potash. Found out the other day that chickens like potash. They like to nibble on it. It's got phosphorus in it, it's got potassium in there, which is great for them, and calcium, and they like to peck around. So I'm going to use the potash in there and mix that with the play sand in here, so they can get rid of their mites, they can get some good minerals too, and they can have a bath at the same time. Like it's a win-win right there, all from natural resources. So there you go, a quick update on what's going to happen to this little chicken duck system. And yeah, it's just mad, because they've been out here for what, maybe 2 days straight now, and it's noticeable how the grass has been nibbled down to in certain patches and stuff, and they're pooing everywhere and so on. Like, look at them now. I mean, they're going to town on the stuff near the compost heap. I can't wait them to get. But what I'm going to do is to get them used to it is I'm going to open this up and sprinkle their food on top, so they've got no choice but to nibble in there, and then slowly but surely like lessen their kind of their food scrap or their food, so then they start kind of picking at the scraps. Because I mean, this has been out here for so long. Look at this lovely piece of lettuce here. I mean, ducks love it, but these guys don't. So get them used to it. So if you're new here, give us a thumbs up. If you've been here before, give us a thumbs up. And if you're new here again, consider subscribing, because this isn't not the initial, this is not the finale place, this is not where I'm going to end up. This is just like a little experiment to see, because I mean, I've never had chickens before, never had ducks, so we're going to move from here, we're moving from here into a 10-acre patch to turn that into like a bootylicious permaculture paradise. So please stay tuned, and peace and hugs to all, and love you a long time.